Well, voters in Arizona and Massachusetts weighing in on wage changes for tipped workers. Yahoo Finance's Rachelle Akuffo is here now with a look at the results. Hey, Rachelle.
Always good to see you, Brad. A busy day indeed. Now, we saw that Massachusetts voters rejected increasing the hourly wage for tipped workers. Now, it's question 5 on or the one fair wage on the ballot, and that would have increased the minimum wage from $6.75 to $15 an hour over the course of 5 years. And also, Arizona voters overwhelmingly rejected Proposition 138, and that would have allowed tipped workers to be paid 25% less than the hourly minimum wage. That's only if their tips bring their overall earnings to $2 above the minimum wage. So lots of different math to work out there, but clearly rejected in both Arizona and Massachusetts.
And so President-elect Trump and Vice President Harris, they had embraced the idea of making cash tips tax exempt to help low and middle income workers. And a number of bills had been proposed. How much of a difference could that make?
And we know that was very popular, and I'm going to give you the answer that all economists give, which is it depends. So Yale University's Budget Lab, they found that only 2.5% of the workforce work in tipped occupations. So most of the US workforce wouldn't even benefit from it, and it would also lower state income tax revenue. Now that typically goes to fund key services and things like education, healthcare, transportation, and low income assistance. So essentially helping the very people who would have benefited from this. And another thing is it does open the door to how the IRS would define cash tips. For example, would it mean that if you got a bonus at work in cash, would that count? So a little bit to work out there. And so that also brings in this concern about fairness and abuse of the system. And important to note that even if states at some point decide not to tax tips, employees and employers are still subject to federal tax laws. So think your federal income tax, Social Security tax, and Medicare tax. So either way, you're getting taxed.
Yeah, exactly. Rachelle, thanks so much. Appreciate it.
You're welcome.